To ask you, I guess firstly, what did you think of the Raptors NBA championship? What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I was thrilled, obviously, coming up from the mid-'90s as an expansion team to the point where they reached the finals, obviously beating Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals where they were down 2-0, came back, won that series. Even the preceding series with the Kawhi Leonard shot from the right corner to beat the Sixers was very, very dramatic. And then the Golden State series unfolded with a number of interesting different layers of the series with injuries and whatnot. So I was very, very excited for the country and for the franchise.
It's Vince's last year.
Yes.
What is your favorite Vince Carter memory? Because you've called legendary calls from Vince.
Well, I mean, from a dunking standpoint, you have to look at the Olympics when he dunked over Frederick Weiss. Then, of course, with the Oracle Arena, with his really coming out party in the NBA where he was on full display, the showcase of the slam dunk contest. But I mean, the 2001 playoff series with the Raptors in Philadelphia where Carter and Iverson went head to head was electrifying.
And tell us a little bit about the Chicago Bulls team. There's a lot of young talent. Some of the talent doesn't get the national recognition, but it's very good talent. Can you tell us what you've seen?
Well, I love the young core of our team. I mean, if you look right now with what's been assembled with the Bulls, with the young talent we have, developing talent, I think the future is very, very bright with this team. I love the makeup of this team. I love the fact that we've added a lot of nice pieces over the last 2 or 3 years, and I think the future is very, very bright for the ball club.
From a Dallas perspective, what have you seen from Luka?
I see Luka Doncic. I think Luka Doncic is going to be a combination of Magic Johnson and Oscar Robertson, and that's how good this guy is going to be. I am a huge fan. I've seen him play at least over the last 2 years, probably 50 times on television or obviously when we play Dallas. I think he is tough. I think he's physical. I think he invites contact. I think he is an exquisite passer. I love everything about him. I think the future is so bright for him and for the league for that matter.
The MVP consideration, that's definitely warranted, and obviously, he's leading the All-Star vote.
Absolutely. Right now, I would say if the voting were done today, Giannis would probably be the clubhouse leader, but Luka's knocking on the door along with Harden. I think one of those three will probably win it, with all due respect to the other candidates, because others obviously are having very good seasons. But I think that he will eventually be an MVP, whether it's this season or down the road. He will be an MVP in this league.
And then Chris Bosh is nominated for the Hall of Fame this year. Obviously, he'll probably go in first ballot. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, it doesn't really surprise me because when Bosh came into the league in the LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade class, I think he was a very raw 18/19-year-old young player who had one season at Georgia Tech, and he got better and better in the way the league was evolving even at that period of time, where he played on the wing, he played with his back to the basket, but he could run from baseline to baseline. And then when he left Toronto, where he was an established player already, but when he joined Miami with LeBron and Wade, I think that really cemented his place in the NBA as a perennial all-star.
Wade said that he was the most important piece in the championship. He said they don't win a championship without Chris Bosh. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, they don't win a championship without Bosh, number one, because he could rebound, he could block shots, but also he sacrificed his game. If you look at the Chris Bosh that he was in Toronto compared to the Chris Bosh in Miami, his field goal attempts per game down, free throw attempts down. He really was not an option, a first or second option, because that went to LeBron and Wade, and Chris bought in because he wanted to win. And I have total respect for Chris Bosh as a man and as a player, because this guy, all he cared about was winning, and it was that way in Toronto along with Miami.
The Hall of Fame class as a whole, what are your thoughts about it? Do you think this is the best ever?
Well, absolutely, this is the best ever. You look at the candidates. I mean, I'm looking at this class and the way the presentation's going to go in Springfield, Massachusetts that night. This could be a 5-hour program because there are going to be a lot of candidates that are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
For you, do you ever sit back and think what Tracy and Vince might have been in Toronto in that era? What could have potentially happened there?
Well, number one, had they stayed together where they were growing as players. I mean, McGrady came in as an 18-year-old high school player. Vince came in as a 21-year-old player out of North Carolina. They came in together. McGrady was a year ahead of him in the draft, and then Vince came on, and they played one playoff series together against the Knicks, and then McGrady left as a free agent to Orlando. I'm still convinced to this day, had McGrady and Carter stayed together, they would have represented the Eastern Conference in definitely one finals, maybe two, maybe more, who knows. But they would have gone to the finals somewhere in that window had they stayed together and played together.
Really appreciate your time. It was a pleasure.
No problem.
Thank you.
Hey there, NBA fans. For exclusive NBA content, subscribe to Fanatics View YouTube down below.